Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. How's it going, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition with
Astonishing Melanie.
And what are we talking about today, Astonishing Melanie?
Well, they're queens of the rats. They're the Rat Queens Omnibus.
Is that a song you just made up on the spot, or is that a real song?
When I woke up this morning, I made it up. Stay tuned.
And welcome back, everybody. So what we're looking at here today is the Rat Queens Omnibus from Shadowline / Image Comics. Now, very important, this omnibus is limited to 5,000, as at least that's what the distribution said. So I don't know if that's too many or if that's not enough, but just in case, it is a limited number. This is the cover here, and who is featured on this cover, Astonishing Melanie? Tell me a little bit about these gals.
So think of this as a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing type of story that this group, Hannah, who's elven and she's a necromancer, is that leader person. Leader. V, who has dwarf blood and she is a fighter. We have D, who is an atheist priestess, and so she is kind of like the healer. And then Betty, who is a smidgen thief and the wild card of the group.
Thank you for that. And of course the logo right there, Rat Queens Omnibus. Over here, Image, Shadowline, the Rat Queens logo there. Weeb, Upchurch, Sajic, Fowler, Jenny, Ferrier, Petrates, and Mortitat. And then the Image logo down there. And then the back of the book.
So on the back, Braga is included as well, that she does join later. She's an orc fighter.
Oh, okay. Who are the Rat Queens? Well, Melanie just told you, but
They're queens of the rats.
Oh my gosh.
They're the Rat Queens.
Fantasy mature humor. I will say there is mature content in here. So if you're thinking it might be a kid's book. Well, not entirely. Now, this has been published or collected in trade paperbacks. It's been collected in these oversized hardcovers. However, the hardcovers didn't collect everything, and they kind of stopped before the series was over. But they're beautiful hardcovers. They almost reminded me of yearbooks, if you will. No dust jacket on them. Whereas the Omnibus does have a dust jacket. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the build here in a second, but let's take the dust jacket off. And here you have the flaps. So you have blurbs from the community about the book. Comics for Girls, Rebecca Eliza, The Mary Sue, Man Cave Daily, Unleash the Fanboy, Capeless Crusader, Dana Folkard, and Johnny Stone, just giving praise for Rat Queens. And then underneath the dust jacket is the art on board that goes across here from the back to the front board and across that spine. Okay, now I said I was going to talk about the build, so really quickly, this, a lot of Image comics, not all of them, does have a flat spine. But it does have sewn binding, does have a lot of excess glue there, so not much of an eye. So that is something, of course, to keep in mind. It is printed in this really thick, glossy paper stock, and about as thick as the other Image hardcover collections. So we are going to crack this book open, talk about the characters in here, talk about the stories, and check out this artwork, and then check out the extras. And I'm going to let Melanie drive because she's the one that read this book cover to cover.
Let's jump into the story. Here's an end sheet, though, first of all. And you can see another character that was not on the cover, Madeline, I believe, that joins later. And we have written by the authors, the artists, colors, lettering, the editors. I like this purple. It's pleasant. And the table of contents. I really like how the issues start with covers that are kind of like trading cards or posters of each character, and I love each of these characters. I love how, oh yeah, here we go. They're each unique and they're dynamic, how they interact with each other. So as you can see, it is rated mature because of language. There is nudity. There is also sexual relations in the book. So just keep that in mind. So title of the first book, Sass and Sorcery, is perfect because that's definitely what it's all about. If you like stories that have these characters just they got chips on their shoulders and they're taking no gruff, or wait, they're not going to take gruff from no one. They're a group of adventurers slash like mercenaries, and they get in trouble a lot.
Now, before we go any further, this book does contain the volume 1 of Rat Queens 1 through 16. 16 has never been republished, like in a trade paperback or hardcover. This is the first time it's been collected in a collection. And it also collects volume 2, 1 through 25, and then all 4 one-shots of the Sister Warriors Queens when the original creators were reunited. Now, I will say Rock Opchurch, there was a controversy with him, and it was domestic abuse, and you can look it up, and if you can't separate the artist from the art, I completely respect that, but I did want to make people aware, because it was brought to my attention whenever we were talking about the book at one time many years ago.
So I'll just talk about the overall story presented in this huge book, maybe minor spoilers, but nothing that's a big spoiler. No, I'm not doing like a review. In the first book, we have the somebody assassinating groups of mercenaries, adventurers, so they're on the case. They're gonna scope it out and see what they can do to protect themselves and Palisade, the town. We're introduced to the characters' quirks, such as Betty loving candy and mushrooms. So she likes to get high on the drugs. Hannah, we can see, is using this as like a cell phone. She has powerful magic and seems to be kind of has a secret. I love Dee's what's it called? Battle cries that she has. Everybody just seems to be having so much fun as well. Even V, who's kind of antisocial, like later on at a party, she's just like reading a book to herself. You could tell that she, along with everyone else, cares about each other. They've got cool attack combos that they perform. And here you see that Braga was actually part of another group, Peaches, before later she joins the Rat Queens. Look at how cute Betty is. Now, I don't know, maybe Betty's my favorite character. I really do like Hannah. I love him as well. This kind of like a chief of police character. Not police, that's lame. It is a fantasy world, but you know what I mean. Captain of the Guard. There you go. Goodness me. And they have a backstory. They have a past relationship, a continuing relationship that is hinted at here. Betty has really funny lines such as like, yeah, you know, smidgens, we love putting things in our body as much as we love pushing them out. Talk about how many babies they have. Dee talks about how she shaved her beard before it was the cool thing to do, the rebellious thing to shave your beard. But then sometimes in the comic, she does have her beard. The way this book is set up, you've got page numbers, but you do not have issue numbers. That you did. I showed you at the beginning, the issue covers, and there are throughout the book as well, but it doesn't like stop and show you the next issue cover. So you're reading it in its entirety without any interruptions. So it was after issue 8, at issue 9, Stephen Sajek came on as the artist. And the other art, you know, Upchurch's art, like, I really like it. However, I really like Stephen Sajek. I like the, and the coloring as well, like the glow in Hannah's face here. It just my personal preference. So, also, I want to mention with the first 2 books, I keep saying books, I mean like book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is issues 1 through 5. book 2, 6 through 10. And I think they might be my favorite stories out of all of this. It is, like I said, I'm not going to delve into a review, but just in general, it's more of a straightforward story, the first issues, and then it does become more complicated. In fact, let me skip through that. There was nudity. I want to make sure I'm not showing it. In fact, the issue number 16 has never been reprinted until this collection because Weeb didn't like the direction the story was going, and it's kind of like there is a soft reboot after the first 10 issues. So 16 was left out of collected editions because he didn't feel like it fit. But it is in this one. Oh, and this story's really sweet too. Is this the one that explains how Braga is actually transgender, that Braga was born male? Yeah, here you go, the backstory. And her journey, what happened in the past with not wanting to be the chieftain and such, and, you know, the direction that she wanted to take her life. As a side note, Rat Queens was nominated for the 2014 Eisner Award and won the 2015 GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding Comic Book for its portrayals of LGBTQ+, I'm so sorry if I'm forgetting a letter, characters. Regardless of there still being a soft reboot, you get backstories of the characters still and how they care about each other. They're still adventurers and they're sassy and a whole lot of cussing. It's a really fun book to just lose yourself in and pretend you're in this world where you can, go on adventures with them and be badass and battle cries and such. Keep reading to solve the mystery of, like, what's going on with this atheist priest and her Cthulhu-like kind of clan they've got going on, and what is the monster god deity's true motives. Oh, here's a good example of just her being badass and getting the upper hand. And is that a term, like, or was it made up for this comic? I don't know. Oh man, and this part again, no spoilers, it's just Orc Dave. Oh, I really like Orc Dave. He came from a group of 4 Daves. He was Orc Dave. As you can see, the artist change. Oh, I love the layout of this too. What a fun story. So if you enjoy stories with a lot of violence and doing dumb stuff and making bad choices sometimes and drinking and goofy humor, then I'd say that you would like the Rat Queens. Like I mentioned, covers are in the back. However, they do separate with a cover, like this is book 7. And speaking of that, there you may notice a change in tone because Ryan Ferrier takes over the book at this point. Art is still gorgeous. Love the colors. Still an adventurous story. Look how cool they are there. When you get to book 9, Sisters, Warriors, Queens, I love that. Weeb and Upchurch come back to do to write it and to do the art, and then that wraps it up. Extras in the back, a list of cover artists, lots of them, and oh man, I love these covers. I would rather the covers be interspersed amongst the issues, because me personally, I get a little overwhelmed. I'm like, oh man, this story is long. However, for others, I could see how you would like it to just keep going and not be interrupted. What's your opinion, Omar?
My opinion is that this book is mapped sort of like Jonathan Hickman's books. They put all the covers in the back. Skybound does the same thing with their Invincible and Walking Dead collections. As a matter of fact, you probably saw this, but one of the cover artists that you're going to find here is Jonathan Hickman. Not a lot of people realize that he was also an artist. Like, he did the Nightly News, so he was an actual creator on that, both the writer and artist. I don't know if he still utilizes his art for people to follow, like a kind of like a storyboards or layouts, but he did draw some stuff. And so you have the main covers and you have the variant covers all the way back here, and they're all in full splash pages and giving credit to the creators up at the top, like whoever was
I
the
recognize
artist.
Fiona Staples there. from Saga. Man, Saga's such a great book.
This is a take on an homage, if you will, to the Jack Kirby Captain America issue of Avengers #4, and it's by Jim Valentino, who is the president of Shadowline.
They're so, like, this could be its own art book. All those covers, they're so awesome. We've got character sketches.
Yeah, you have 4 different sketches. That's cool.
Oh, she's so pretty. And I believe, one more thing back here. The covers all in a row. Bye. And let's give you the middle finger, as opposed to this one where this end sheet where they're all posing, civilly. Oh, the end.
That, as they say, is
that.
The end.
If you're interested in purchasing this, please check out our sponsors. If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this omnibus. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Let us know if you picked it up, if you have them in trade paperback or the oversized hardcovers, and what you thought of the series. But that's it, everybody. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.
Stay minty!